Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. And today, before we begin our podcast, we will do a couple of things uh, to make this podcast better for a lot of you guys and for a lot of people who don't know about this podcast yet, and that they could learn so many things about nutrition, about healthy lifestyle, about exercise, things that could improve their life starting today. So first thing, guys, please, if you know someone, if you like this podcast, if you learned something from this podcast that improved your life already, it can probably do the same for other people you care about, people you might know, and you know that they might really benefit from this kind of information. So maybe share this podcast today with this person. Choose one person who you think can really learn something, apply that, and get better at keeping their health up, their energy up, at looking better, feeling better, performing better, and just taking better care of themselves. So share this podcast today with this one person. And the second thing is I'm working through this book. It's called Make Noise, and it's about how to make your podcast something special. Some special audio experience that you deliver to your audience, to you guys every single day. And so I'm working through this book, and one of the assignments was to come up with a 10-word description, or as close to 10 words or less as possible, that will separate your podcast from everything else out there in the world. To that kind of description helps you to clarify the purpose, the goal of your podcast, and what should be on the podcast and what shouldn't be. And so here is my description. And if you're up for it, let me know what you think. Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. An adventure of one obsessed nutrition coach on a mission to create a world where food makes you better. So again, an adventure of one obsessed nutrition coach on a mission to create a world where food makes you better. So what do you think? Let me know. I'm gonna added my description for iTunes, for Android platforms, and it's gonna be up, and we'll see how it does. And let me know what you think, by the way. So today, guys, is Tuesday, and we're talking about intermittent fasting, and not so much about how it's good for you, why it's good for you, why you should be doing it or shouldn't be doing that, and why you might want to try it. We will talk about how you actually do it once you decide to do it. A lot of people reach out to me, a lot of my clients trying to do intermittent fasting. We try things and we fail. I failed a lot with my intermittent fasting. I know I learned that I'm an early person, and early intermittent fasting, when I finish my eating early, works the best for me. But before even a couple of months ago, I couldn't do it properly. I used to fail a lot. And I used to fail because, for example, I would have my last meal, and then at night or somewhere around 5 or 6 p.m., and I usually would finish eating by 3 p.m., that was the plan at least. I would go shopping for food, and I would start planning my next day amazing meal and all the nutrition aspects of it, all the amazing nutrients I'm gonna get from it, and I would go shopping, and then almost every time that night I would still eat something, and so basically I would fail the practice that I wanted to start, early intermittent fasting. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, right? What was wrong with my willpower that I couldn't just stick to it. Even though I would eat substantial meals during the day, I would still eat something at night. And after some trial and error, reading more on coaching techniques and how our eating psychology works, I realized that going shopping at night and focusing my brain on food, that would create that hunger, insatiable or unstoppable hunger for food. It's not that I was hungry, it was that I just didn't manage my mind focus properly by going shopping. Or what else would happen? I would sit with my mom or sometimes with my friends, depending where I am, and I would watch them eat and enjoy all these delicious, very often healthy foods that I also love. And again, I would fail my intermittent fasting. And I would fail it because I, again, was exposing my brain to food environment, and that would trigger thoughts about food, and that would trigger my appetite. Because guys, a lot of our appetite is in our head and in our brain, and every time our brain is exposed to food or focused on food, or you see food, especially if you smell it and it's familiar food that you love, every time you do that, you will have seemingly more hunger, even though it is probably not so much hunger as it is appetite that is not so much physiological but more in your head. So I would do that and I would fail. And at some point I realized it wasn't the problem with me or my willpower. It was my inability or my failure to design environment to support my goal. Organizing your lifestyle around your new habits, that's the secret, guys. That's the key. And so now I am successfully fasting after 3 p.m. Why? Because I don't go shopping at night, because I don't go out to dinners most of the time. I'm just not a going out late kind of person. I don't plan my meals at night. I go shopping before my meals at the beginning of the day, and that's when I plan my meals too. So I go shopping ideally, I cook my meals, and then I eat. And at night I get busy with work or with something else, non-food related. And so after I organize my environment to support my goals, now I don't have a problem with sticking with any intermittent fasting protocol. The takeaway for you guys is organize your environment that way so you have to spend the least amount of energy and willpower on maintaining this habit. And also realize that you know, even the best theory, like they show that early eating works best for our health and fat loss and metabolism. But realize that even the best health benefit or health practice, it's not going to work for you if it doesn't work for your lifestyle, for your life. Like if dinner is the only time when you get together with your family for this enjoyable, pleasurable eating experience that you share together, and you decide, okay, I'm going to fast for dinner, realize that that's not going to happen, because you're going to be missing out on too many things: connection with your loved ones and enjoying together something as basic, humanly basic as it gets. You know, you don't get more human, more there is no more shared experience as eating food. Like we all share food, all human beings, right? And eliminating that from your life because you decided to do intermittent fasting, that can backfire a lot. And in most cases, you're not going to be able to stick with that. So for you, breakfast skipping or starting your eating later in the day might work much, much better for so many reasons, even though, you know, studies might show that early eating or stopping eating earlier in the day might work better. But again, the best theory will not work if it doesn't work for your life. So if you're, you know, a breakfast person, then eat breakfast and lunch and skip dinners. And if you're someone like me, if you're a dinner person and that's where your social life happens, your family life happens, then eat your dinner and don't eat your breakfast. But as one of my favorite nutritionists says, if you eat all the time and everything, it is a recipe for disaster, for health disaster. So realize that you do need to limit food in some capacity in our world where food is everywhere. If you eat every time the food is offered to you and you eat anything that is offered to you, it is the recipe for health disaster. So here are my 3 pieces of practical advice that I learned through my work and coaching myself that I believe will help you a lot to do intermittent fasting successfully. So, number one, while fasting, no shopping, no cooking, no thinking about food, no sitting with your mom watching her eat your favorite sardines, none of that. Expose yourself to food environment as little as possible. That's probably like, if not 90% of your success, but a lot of it, guys. Just go shopping at other times when you are quote unquote allowed to eat. So no shopping, no cooking, not food smells, not checking out your favorite bakery or your favorite restaurant, what they have on the menu, no reading menus, no cooking shows, nothing. None of that. So that is advice number one. Advice number two, get busy, guys. Just do work that you haven't done for a while. Do something not food related. Go for a walk. Go take a class. Do anything. Just get busy. And when your mind is busy, you'll be surprised how much easier it gets to fast. And also, sip on some warm tea, on some maybe coffee if it's nighttime, decaf coffee. If you're fasting in the morning, then obviously just regular coffee or tea or water, maybe flavored sparkling if it doesn't increase your appetite. I love flavored sparklings. They just, that aroma and no sugars, no sweetness, no calories. It really changes the water game. So get busy, guys. And then the next one is plan your fasting around your lifestyle. Don't plan your lifestyle around your fasting. So plan your fasting around your life. Don't plan your life around your fasting. And that goes back again to those family dinners or other social occasions, getting together with your friends, shared meals. Maybe you have to go for a business dinner. Maybe you have to have like business lunches and you need to eat at this time. So figure out how you can fit in fasting into your lifestyle so it's natural, so it doesn't take anything away from you, something that is meaningful, like a shared meal with your family. So build your fasting around your life, not your life around your fasting. And that goes for so many other health habits. Don't try to build your life around your health habits. That almost never works, guys. So to recap again, first, no shopping, cooking, planning your meals while fasting, no watching other people's eat. Just expose yourself to food environment, to food as little as possible. Then number two, guys, get busy doing things not food related, of course. Finishing those projects that you haven't finished yet, going for walks, taking classes, reading. When you don't eat, you actually have much more free time. And then the last but not least, build your fasting around your life. Don't build your life around fasting. So that's it for today, guys. Set up your environment so it supports you and your goals. And every single goal you set to create a certain health habit will be so much easier when you learn how to create the environment that supports that. That's it for today, guys. Don't forget to share this episode with one person who you believe might really benefit from what they hear. Because when you listen to something a lot, at some point you'll think about doing something and changing something in your life for the better. So share this podcast with one person and let me know what you think about an Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. An adventure of one obsessed nutrition coach on a mission to create a world where food makes you better. So let me know. Thank you guys for listening, for tuning in. I really appreciate your attention, your energy, your feedback, you working on yourself and creating those ripples that make the world, the food world around us better. So thank you for doing this, thank you for the work you're doing. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.